Dear aspirants, welcome to another video brought to you by New IAS. This is actually part of the ongoing video series strategy video series on how to prepare for the upcoming prelims examination. Today we will discuss how to prepare international relations for the upcoming prelims examination, that is 2019 prelims examination. Okay. So let us start with the syllabus itself. So all we have to see, you might have come across toppers acknowledging the relevance of syllabus and previous year questions. Okay, so let us start with the syllabus itself. This is actually the prelims syllabus for international relations. As you can see, it is not conveying that much. It is confined to certain words only. It is saying that current events of national and international importance. Bus. So we cannot rely on this syllabus. But if we make an analysis of the previous year prelims questions, you will get to know about a thing. That is nothing but if you can prepare IR on the basis of main syllabus, you can easily attend all the questions that would be asked from international relations. Okay, so we are relying on the main syllabus. So that means you need not segregate your prelims preparation from mains preparation when it comes to international relations. Okay, you'll get to know more about this. Into the 10th or 15th minute of this lecture, you will get to know why exactly I have told this particular thing. So this is the main syllabus. As you can see, there are many keywords, highlighted words in the main syllabus. It is actually divided into 1, 2, 3, 4 sub-modules. Against each module, you can see some keywords, right? Neighborhood relations, bilateral, regional and global groupings and agreements involving India and or affecting India's interests, then effect of policies and politics of developed and developing countries on India's interests, Indian diaspora, important international institutions, agencies and fora, their structure, mandates, etc. Okay, so this is all about the main syllabus, and what we have done is that we have categorized the prelims topics into 7 categories based on these keywords. So let us see what are those key areas, what are those subcategories. So this is the topic wise analysis. Here you can see the 7 subcategories which we have devised. Okay, starting from India's neighborhood relations to India's foreign policy, we have 7 subcategories: bilateral relations, regional organizations, global organizations, international issues, nuclear and arms disarmament, and finally India's foreign policies. These are the subtopics. Okay. So since this being a strategy video, we have to strategically analyze the pattern, analyze the number of questions that has been asked ever since the pattern of UPSC has been changed. That is exactly 2011. Okay. So up to from 2011 to 2014, till 2014, you can see that international relations can be considered a dull subject as far as prelims is concerned. But ever since 2015, this IR is actually fetching consistently for the aspirants. Around 5 to 6 questions have been consistently asked. That means it can fetch marks, around 10 to 12 marks for your prelims examination. And the good thing is that you can easily answer all these 5 to 6 questions. And amongst the various subcategories, you can identify that organizations, regional organization and global organizations, in short we can consolidate it as organizations. This is one of the favorite areas of UPSC, and this is one of the trickiest parts, and this is one of the areas where aspirants often struggle, because aspirants or students are often concerned. There are many international organizations, there are many regional organizations, and the members of the organizations, the mandate of the organizations. How could we remember? How could we do we need to mug up all the member nations? So being organizations a favorite topic of UPSC, you need to know various aspects of questions that can be asked out of organizations. Okay, so many aspects can be asked from organizations. So these are the common aspects. That means if you study an organization, please keep in mind these aspects. Okay, members of that organization is a key area which you have to consider, which you have to take a note of. Whether India is a member of a particular organization, that is again a key point. Association with other prominent organization. Okay, we have questions, okay. association, a particular organization is asked, in one of the statements, it is asked whether this organization is working in collaboration with the UN or WHO. Such questions are asked. Whether the organization is a regional organization or global organization, we'll narrate it with the help of an example. Whether the organization is intergovernmental or non-governmental. And finally, what are the objectives of this particular organization? What are the activities, reports, inception, particulars of a provision, themes, etc. So these are the various aspects that can be asked if a question is being framed from organization. See, please keep in mind, all this categorization is not rigid, okay? Because when it comes to bilateral relations and neighborhood relations, for example, India and China, it is at the same time a bilateral relation, and since China being our neighbor, we can consider it a neighborhood relation. So it is for the purpose or the convenience only we are actually making most of the classification, okay? So you are not supposed to feel rigid about this categorization, feel free. So moving on, these are the questions that has been asked from the topic regional organizations. There are 7 questions. In 2014, Arctic Council has been asked. 2015, see, APEC, ASEAN, East Asia Summit, Mekong Corporation, IOR, ARC. In 2016, GCC. 2017, AP, MCHUD, ADB, APEC, ASEAN, APC, ASEAN again has been asked. See, what is the benefit of reviewing or analyzing previous year question? This is the benefit. A question may get repeated. So if you have studied, if you have gone through 2015 or previous year question, then you could have attended a question that has been asked on 2017. This is the benefit of reviewing or revising previous year prelims questions. Okay. So out of this regional organization, I am taking Arctic Council to explain various aspects of question that can be framed out of regional organization. So this is the question actually asked about APEC Council. It is asking, UPSC has asked about the members, who all are the members of Arctic Council. The options were Denmark, Japan, Russian Federation, UK and USA. By knowing Japan and United Kingdom or UK has nothing to do with Arctic Council. Why it has nothing to do with Arctic Council? Because Arctic Council is a regional grouping which caters services to those countries which belong to the Arctic region. Okay, so this is the Arctic Circle, and the countries encircled or the countries included inside the Arctic Circle are the Scandinavian countries, Canada, Russia and USA. No other countries are part of this Arctic Circle, and hence they are no members of this Arctic Council. So Arctic Council caters to those countries which belong to the Arctic Circle. So by knowing this geopolitical concept, you could easily answer this question. You can eliminate options containing Japan or America and Japan and UK and arrive at the correct option. Okay. So I am not about to tell you the elimination technique. Rather, I want to specify the various aspects showcased in this question. So here one vivid aspect is that it is a question on members. It is a question on members. The second aspect is whether the organization in question is a regional organization or global organization. Now, how can you distinguish between a regional organization and global organization? It is very simple. Regional organization caters to a specific region, while global organization caters to the entire world. That is how we can simply distinguish between regional and global organization, and Arctic Council is obviously a regional organization. And another aspect which I want to tell you out of this question or from this question is that, as I have already told in this lecture, that you are not supposed to segregate your mains and prelims preparation. Prepare holistically for your mains examination, and you can answer almost all the questions, not almost all the questions, all the 5 to 6 questions from the international relations. So you have to prepare in the mains mode. Especially in this question, you need to know the members, but you need not by heart them. Okay. So consider another example. This is again a question on organization, regional organization. here it is asked about GCC, Gulf Cooperation Council, and we have to find answer. We have to find the nation which is not a member of GCC. Okay. See, in this question, one can easily answer this question by knowing two facts. That Saudi was very critical, or Saudi was very decisive in the creation of GCC, and this Saudi Arabia and Iran are rivals. That means they won't go together. So, if anyone, or if one knows Saudi and Iran cannot go together, they can easily answer this question. Here also you need not by heart or mug up all the member nations, but rather by reading a newspaper on a daily basis, you will get to know about the relationship between various neighboring countries. So Saudi and Iran are not in a good relationship. We'll discuss. Once we get into the detailed modules, we will discuss the various relationship pertaining to all those countries in the West Asia. Okay. So here one can easily pick Iran as the correct answer. So coming back to our topic on Arctic Council, we all know India is not even a member of this Arctic Council. Still such a question has been asked. Why? Because it was explicitly mentioned in the main syllabus that any grouping that has a direct impact or that affects India's interest is of due importance. Okay, that is why such a question has been asked. And recently, India has been awarded, India has been given an observer status in this Arctic Council. And this has to do with the geopolitics in this region, in the South Asian region. Why? Because for years, India was assuming that India is considering that by controlling the goods movement through Malacca Strait, we can put China under some pressure. But what happened was, now owing to climate change and global warming, two new navigational routes has been developed in the Arctic region. And as you can see, this is clear in this image. Two new navigational routes have been created owing to melting of ice. They are Northwest Passage and Northern Sea Route. Okay, it is. Please see this image. One is Northwest Passage and the other one is Northern Sea Route. Okay. So now what happened is that China can now access energy from the Northern Sea Route. This has an adverse impact on India's policies or India's strategies. Now, this is why India's membership status gains significance. Okay, so this is how we should analyze questions in its mains perspective. So moving on, let us see the other questions that has been asked from the section organization. As we have listed a number of aspects upon which questions can be framed. Question can be framed whether India is a member of a particular organization. Okay, such a question has been asked in 2015. Read the question. It is there in the material. It was asked whether India is a member of which among the following groups. Okay, so just keep in mind when you read a particular grouping or organization, just understand whether India is a direct member to that organization or whether India has any observer status in that organization. Okay, these are the things which you have to take a note of. Okay, moving on. And see again, objectives, activities, reports, inception, particulars of a provision, themes, etc. In the last prelims examination, there was a question based on a report. Rule of law index is released by which of the following? So see, these are some factual questions actually. So while preparing for IR, please take a note of these aspects from which questions can be framed. Again, 2018, a particulars of a provision has been asked. It was asked like this: International Labour Organizations Conventions 138 and 182 are in news. It is in relation to what? It is in relation to child labour. It was in news like hell. Okay, during the last year. If anyone follows newspaper on a daily basis, they would have obviously come across this matter. Then global organization. Okay, as we have already distinguished between regional organization and global organization, these are the various questions. These are the timeline of questions that have been asked under this section global organization. In 2014, a question was asked on BRICS. Many are doubting, or many doubt BRICS as a regional organization. because BRICS consists of 5 nations only. It is not a regional organization. Consider the location of these 5 nations. Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa. These nations are spanned over different continents. Okay, so obviously this is a global organization. And the other important area which UPSC has been consistent on is UPSC asked about NGOs. So this is another area which you have to be very thorough with. You need to understand whether an organization is a intergovernmental organization or a non-governmental organization. In 2015, Amnesty International was asked. In 2016, Doctors Without Borders has been asked. Okay, again, a intergovernmental, a UN organization, UN Habitat. Then 2018, we have discussed, okay, International Labour Organization and the Rule of Law Index and its report. Then we have done with organizations. We will move to the next category, India Neighbourhood Relations. So far only one question has been asked from this section, which is Belt and Road Initiative. By now everyone is aware of this Belt and Road issue owing to its controversies. Okay, India is not willing to join this Belt and Road Initiative with China. So it is something to do with India and China. So that is why it was put under India Neighbourhood Relations. This was the question. Belt and Road Initiative is sometimes mentioned in the news in the context of answer is China. Next topic is bilateral relations. See, only 2 questions has been asked from this topic, bilateral relations, India-Africa Summit and Chabahar Port. Every year, owing to prime ministerial visits or annual summits, we have a handful of topics falling under this category. We'll deal it separately, and all the concerned articles are being posted in our Telegram channel dedicated for international relations, and we'll discuss bilateral relations in specific in the classroom also. And international issues, okay, this is again another favorite area of UPSC. And the recent trend is that international issues are asked in connection with communities and places, locations. Okay, see, 2011 geostrategical significance of Southeast Asia has been asked. 2014 Arab Spring has been asked. 2015 Golan Heights has been asked. 2016 Kurd, Madhesi, Rohingya communities were asked. In the last year, 2-state solution and various places under news like Catalonia, Crimea, Mindanao, Oromia have been asked. Okay, so this is a very dynamic section, international issues. I think this is one of the areas where an aspirant can easily score. If he or she is following the newspaper or articles on a daily basis, he can easily answer this section. This is the easiest of the sections available under IR Prelims. Nuclear disarmament and arms control. This is again a favorite area of UPSC, and a total of 7 questions has been asked so far. And this is one of the areas where the questions or concepts are getting repeated. Be it non-proliferation treaty, be it International Atomic Energy Agency, be it multilateral export control regime, okay, be it NST membership, okay, that is falling under multilateral export control regime. So the concepts are getting repeated. So that implies that an aspirant can easily fetch mark if one can holistically prepare these topics. And also you might be aware of the fact that in the last year, especially in the last year, India managed to get a membership in all the 4 multilateral export control regimes except this NST. And we all know what happened to India's NST membership and who is actually blockading India's membership in NST. Okay, India is alleging that it is China. Okay, so these are the topics. And arms control, various arms control regimes. Okay, so see, there is a topic on nuclear weapon states. How many states, or which all are the states which have been declared as nuclear weapon states, and what is the criteria? And if a nation is not a nuclear weapon state, if it wants to get NST membership, what are the things it has to do? Whether they have to dismantle their kind of nuclear warheads, Okay, so these are the topics which are falling under this category. Moving on to India's foreign policy. So far only one question has been asked from this topic. It is related to India's look east policy, and it has been asked in 2011. Even though this is not a relevant topic as far as prelims is concerned, but this is of due relevance when it comes to our mains preparation. Okay. Finally, let us conclude this discussion with the sources. Obviously, NEO's material on international relation would come in very handy, and we have a dedicated Telegram channel for international relations. The link is provided in the description, and obviously you can follow a daily newspaper, be it Hindu or Indian Express. So thank you very much. Goodbye.